Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kerrville Weekly News Roundup, hosted by the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. Andrew Gay and Tom Fox in the studio today. We're going to run over our top news picks for the week. And as always, Tom, you want to do honors and kick us off, sir?
Sure. I'm going to move over from Kerrville to CenterPoint. Obviously, still Kerr County, but a couple of stories out of CenterPoint. The first one comes to us from the Kerrville Daily Times, our newspaper, which talked about putting a crosswalk across the farm to market road that goes through town. And while you may not think that would be a newsworthy story, actually it is, because a crosswalk is an important part of pedestrian safety and traffic safety. And it really leads to the second story, which comes to us from our good friend Lou Samstoy at the Lead, which said that lots of citizens from Centerpoint showed up to receive a sneak preview of some of the future of downtown of Kerrville. There's a new Shabano Event Center, which is going to host the Zanzenberg Tavern and the several other new restaurants which will be coming to Centerpoint. This is actually a big deal for Centerpoint to have sort of new businesses. And so that's the reason for the need for the crosswalk. Hopefully, you'll be able to go down and check out the new restaurants in Centerpoint. The other thing I want to talk about, Andrew, is something that probably all of us have to talk about, and that's the heat. I was out of the country and then up north for a week, couple of weeks, and I got home last night, or I got to San Antonio last night at 10, and I walked out, and the heat was just hit me. It's 95 degrees at 10 o'clock last
You
night.
didn't turn around and get back on the plane.
I did not. And unfortunately, we found out today that a young child died in a car, that were left in a car. And so that's a tragedy beyond tragedy. But we've had, before we left, there was unfortunately a dog that got left in a car with the air conditioner on, and then the air conditioner failed. It was so hot, and the dog ended up expiring. So please be careful out there. Don't leave your children, don't leave your animals, and don't leave yourself in a car without the windows down or something. Be aware of the heat. I know the heat index was up in the plus 110s while we were gone. Fortunately, we didn't experience that, but be careful out there. If you feel dizzy, get some water in you. Be sure and hydrate. The Loose Amstoy at the Lead has reported we may have a break in the heat, so that would be great. But just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the people around you. Hydrate, hydrate.
Thanks, Tom. Two things I wanted to talk about this week. One is the Center for Fitness is celebrating their 50-year anniversary, and there was a story that came out on that in the Daily Times as well. Very well written. And I know those folks over there. I've known them for quite a while. Some of the Sears family and Charles and Kathy Hall. And they are also tied into Big Brothers Big Sisters, which I was a part of the board for a long time. They do a great job of all their aerobics classes over there. They've been a staple in the community for a long time and have just been well known around this area and well respected for a long time. So it's great to see businesses like that hit a milestone here in our local community of celebrating something like 50 years. So that's amazing. They've been at their Water Street location, I think, since 1999. That's what the story said. And I'm actually headed over there tomorrow because Charles and Kathy Hall sponsor a little sister through Big Brothers Big Sisters who just graduated from Texas A&M recently. So that's also a milestone for her. So I will actually be over there visiting those folks tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure that was one mention for the first story this week. The other one is related to heat. There was also an article in the Daily Times related to an uptick in rodent activity because of the heat.
Yes.
And you and I were just talking about snakes before this. I almost had one get into the house the other day, but I kind of wanted to tie that back into the uptick in rabies cases too, because some rodents out there can carry rabies. And my wife and I have two small little dogs, and we have to constantly be thinking about that. There's skunks that run around the golf course all over the place that we live on. So with the recent heat advisories and the triple digit temperatures that are expected over the next week or so, I just think it's a good idea if you have pets, make sure your house is sealed off and secure as best as possible from those pesky rodents. But also if you have pets, be on the for any of those other types of creatures that might carry rabies. And that's it for me. What do you got going on this weekend, Tom? Anything exciting?
We've been gone a couple of weeks, so hopefully we'll be able to get some good Mexican food tonight. I've been missing some good quality Mexican food.
You haven't
Queso withdrawals, fajita withdrawals, the whole
That's it.
package. and then try to enjoy what we can, probably indoors, the heat index, but check out an estate sale or two.
Yeah. And I would say for us, one thing I wanted to mention that I'm going to get into this weekend is actually moving all of this podcast stuff to our new and improved studio out back in our property here that we just got the internet hooked up to yesterday. So I guess the next time we do a podcast and the next time you guys hear from us, we will actually be in a standalone studio. So really looking forward to that. But hopefully we can keep out of the heat while we're doing that too
Good
this
luck.
weekend. Yeah, thanks. Okay, guys, that'll do it for us today. Thank you so much. Don't forget, interact with us, share our content, helps other people find our show and our channel. We're on Facebook, YouTube. Thanks so much. Take care.